Happy Tuesday once again. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Tennessee baseball makes it 16 in a row with the 17-2 run ruling of Eastern Kentucky tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. Let's get right into this thing. The bats are rolling. Pitching did decent tonight. We get ready for SEC play this weekend against Alabama on the road and looking at midweek scores tonight. It's the beauty of college baseball. Alabama goes to Southern Miss. Last I checked here, they were down 7-2. Not sure if the score ends up that way or not. You see numerous ranked teams around the country struggling tonight. Florida getting beat by Florida State. Wake Forest losing to Coastal Carolina. No shame in any of these games, as these are good teams that you're looking at, but it is the beauty of college baseball. There's not a game you can take for granted. Tennessee found it out last Wednesday against Southern Indiana. They're going to find out this weekend what those bats are all about when they get into SEC play against Alabama, but could not be more excited for this to get started. You know, there's so many of these get ready for games that we can have till it's time to really test yourselves against the best. We're starting at this weekend against Alabama. Let's get right into it tonight. For Tennessee, I'm going to start with the pitching, and I'll work my way back to the hitting. Xander Sechrist starts again tonight, 3 1/3, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit. Chris Stamos, 2/3 of an inning. He does get the win, 8 pitches for him, no strikeouts. Marcus Phillips, he's been good up to this point tonight. 2 runs, 1 earned, 3 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. That moves his ERA on the year to 1.62. Kirby Cannell comes in, puts the fire out in that inning, gets 2/3 of an inning. He got a ground out. He did get 1 strikeout, so that lowers his ERA to 3.00. Matthew Dallas, he does come in tonight. He throws an inning, a strikeout, no walks. I thought that was a positive for him. We saw Brady Robertson tonight. Have not seen him up to this point, but he faced 3 batters, 9 pitches, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 2/3 of an inning for him. I'm sorry, I said Dallas went 1 inning. He went 1/3 of an inning, had 1 strikeout in his appearance. Luke Payne goes 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, and that's let's see, for him on the year, 2 innings, 3.5 ERA for him, 4 strikeouts on the year. So that's your pitching, mainly young guys. Of course, Sechrist, Stamos, that's your, and Cannell, mainly young guys to finish it. Some of your veteran guys to get it through it. I still think Phillips is a candidate for closer when we get into it. But, a little bit of a rough outing for him tonight, but he's been really good up to this point. Fielding-wise, no errors. Again, tonight, they took care of business in the field. Hitting-wise, lots of guys batted tonight, all the way down the lineup. Christian Moore, 1 for 3, 1 home run, 1 walk, 2 RBIs. Bradkey Laurie come in later on. He batted once. He walked. He had a run scored. Dalton Bargo hit second tonight. Blake Burke, I was in and out on the game tonight. Not going to sit here and lie about it. So I'm assuming Burke was suspended tonight. But, feel free to correct me in the comments on that, as I was not. I come in, it was 8-0 when I got home tonight. But Dalton Bargo, 1 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. Cal Stark pinch hit later on, had a 1-for-1 with a grand slam, 4 RBIs tonight. Good for him. Billy Amick, 1 for 2, 1 double. He was hit by a pitch once, 1 run scored. Reese Chapman come in later on, hit an Amick spot, went 1 for 2 tonight. Kavaris Tears, 2 for 2, 1 home run, 1 walk, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, another stolen base for him. Ethan Payne come in at third base. Later on, Ethan Payne went 0 for 2. Robin Villeneuve, 1 for 3, played first in Burke's absence tonight. 1 run. He did have 2 strikeouts. Not a good thing. They did have 6 as a team tonight. Dylan Drawling, 1 for 1, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, 1 home run. Colby Backus, 1 for 2 with the strikeout. Dean Curley, 1 for 3, 2 runs, 1 RBI, 1 walk for him, 1 stolen base. They had Sharp actually, who pitches. He had one at bat tonight. He did strike out 0 for 1. Ariel Antigua come in the last inning at shortstop. Cannon Peebles started at catcher tonight. 0 for 2, 1 RBI, 1 run scored, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Charlie Taylor come in later on. 1 for 2, 1 run scored, 1 strikeout. Hunter Ensley continues to swing good bat. 2 for 3, 3 RBIs, and a home run for him tonight. Hunter High come in later on. Finished up in left field. Take a deep breath, as that's a lot of guys that batted tonight. 1 for 1 with a run scored for him. And these lineups, man. Christian Moore, 364, these stats. Laurie, I mean, he had his chances. He's .077. Bargo, 364. Cal Stark got his average up to 222 on the season. That's about 50 points higher from where it was last year, or at least 40 points. Billy Amick, 369. Reese Chapman up to 278. Kavaris Tears, 426. Ethan Payne, 400. Robin Villeneuve, 361. Dylan Dreiling up to 377. Backus, 364. Curley, 308. Peebles, 304. Charlie Taylor, 125. Hunter Ensley has his up to 271. Hunter High, 375. Woo! That's a lot of guys to discuss right there. But the true test with this team is going to be SEC play. We've seen what they can do against basically inferior competition or lesser competition. We've basically seen what they can do against these other teams. What can they do against SEC competition? That's going to be the real test. There's a couple guys I have circled on that one. I got to see it from Blake Burke, guys. I have to see it in SEC play. I'm a believer, but I also have to see it. So maybe I'm a half believer in that. But I know last year he wore out this type of competition. They got the SEC play, and he had a tough time. He had a tough SEC season. I have to see it throughout. I'm a believer in this lineup. There's a lot of good batters in this lineup. But what do they do when they get in SEC play? You got Alabama on the road this weekend. You got Ole Miss coming to Knoxville next weekend. That's going to be the true test for this team. We know they can do it against their midweek and their non-conference competition. Oklahoma's really the only team. There's been a couple games. Let's make no mistake. Southern Indiana held them down last week. That was the outlier, not the norm here recently. So we'll see. I would like to preview this series coming up this weekend. If you've listened to the basketball, I've got a lot going on this week. It's a hectic week for me. I will be live Friday after the basketball game. And if they go on into the weekend, I'll be live for that as well. Probably have just some post-game recaps for baseball this weekend. I don't anticipate any baseballs live right now. Hopefully, as we get into it later on, that is the goal. But Tennessee takes care of business again tonight. Not a whole lot more to say. The offense keeps rolling. You know, a lot of pitchers got to throw tonight. I'm really curious to see what the rotation looks like this weekend. I'm really curious to see what the lineup looks like, as they played a lot of guys in these games. I think we're starting to see what this lineup is going to look like. I fully expect Ensley in. I think a lot of it will be dictated too by righty-lefty. As to do they go Bargo? Do they go Villeneuve? Do they go Peebles? You're going to see Cal Stark some as they're going to rotate catchers. Is A.J. Russell ready to go this weekend? I'm curious to see that. If not, you got to think A.J. Causey goes Friday. Beam's going to go Saturday, and then who goes Sunday? That remains to be seen. But thank you guys for tuning in with me. Make sure you tune in Friday. Post-game, if you're a basketball guy, right after the Tennessee versus either Mississippi State or LSU game, I'm going live. I hope to see you in there. Let's raise that thing up, and we're going to go live all weekend. Tennessee will play for every game they play this weekend. It will be at 1 p.m. Eastern time, 12 o'clock Central time. But Frank Rock, House of Orange, as always, go Vols.
Everyone rejects me.